remember, there is more than one set of commandments, 613 of them. There are ritual commandments. I want you to do this at the ritual, and this is how you're going to do it. There are cultural commandments. There are ceremonial covenants. On those days, this is how you shall perform the ceremony. And then there are moral covenants. There are 4 basic covenants, or commandments, types of commandments. And if someone ever asked you, well, you're real big on those homosexual verses that homosexuals are sin. But what about those ones about stoning your son if he's disobedient? What about that stoning a woman if she does that? If you're going to be biblical, why aren't you stoning people and the only ones you're stoning are homosexuals? Because some of the commandments are ceremonial and cultural, and we don't follow those anymore. Because it's a different culture and a different ceremony. Out of the 613, there are some that carry through. But remember, homosexuality and one man and one wife was talked about by Jesus and the New Testament. So that's one that came through. That is a moral commandment. And none of the moral commandments were wiped out. None of them were changed. And so not every commandment makes it across the divide from the old covenant to the new covenant. I've liked to have said in the past that sometimes we see the cross, picture a cross, and turn it sideways, okay? So that you're just seeing the side of the cross. All you're seeing is one bar. You're not seeing the arms anymore. The arms are this way. Now you don't. And think of that as a filter in a stream, or a filter in a pipe. There are certain things that stopped at the cross, and some things went on through. Well, all the moral commandments went through. Those were still supposed to, because Jesus taught on every one of the 10 commandments at one time or another. We ought to catch from that and go, oh, okay, that matters. He didn't mention the others. Oh, well, that should matter. Does that make sense? There's some things that came through the filter of the cross, and some things were accomplished by the cross. They were established by the cross. And so there's no longer that need. Jesus paid the price for those. That's why we don't sacrifice. Why don't we sacrifice every year an animal on an altar? Jesus took it for all. Yeah, he did that, right? We all understand that. We all get that. We go, okay, yeah, makes sense. Well, just apply that to other Old Testament things. He fulfilled that. He completed that. And it didn't have to come up where we have to continue to do those things. But you still don't cheat, you don't steal, you don't covet another man's wife. See? Jesus didn't take care of those. We do. Those are things we're personally responsible for. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
That's where the 10 Commandments comes from one to the other, because some things passed through the filter and other things stopped at the cross because Jesus did it. Okay?